So before I start this movie review, I just want to give a big shout out to IMDb, where I get all my information and fun facts from. What's up, everyone? I'm your host with the most, Movie Mania Nick, and today I'm going to do a movie review of the 1991 film Disney's The Rocketeer, which starred Billy Campbell, Jennifer Connelly, Alan Arkin, Timothy Dalton, Paul Sorvino, Terry O'Quinn, and Ed Lauter. And the director was Johnston. So this movie is basically about a young pilot stumbles onto a prototype jetpack that allows him to become a high-flying masked hero. Alright guys, so I remember seeing this film when I was very young, and I did rewatch it actually last night. But anyway, it still holds up to this day. When I remember watching it for the first time when I was younger and now, it's still a fun adventure movie. It really is. Unfortunately, it's a very underrated film, in my opinion. But overall, I think it's a good film. It's not, of course, it's not the best. It's kind of cheesy in some parts, but it's all right. But it's a good film. Like I said, it's a fun adventure film. Of course, you have Billy Campbell, who was the lead role as Cliff, and he was the Rocketeer, and I think he did a great job as the main character. I mean, you think of Billy Campbell, and it's like, and I'm saying Billy Campbell, not Bruce Campbell, Billy Campbell. You think after this role, he's like, well, where has he been? He's disappeared. But actually, he's been in other movies and TV shows. From movies, I think he's been in, he actually was in Bram Stoker's Dracula, who played a character as Quincy. He was in TV documentary show or series. It was called Killing Lincoln, which he was the main character, Abraham Lincoln, in that show or series or whatever it was. But he's been around. He's done plenty of movies, plenty of TV shows. You might not recognize him now because he is a little bit older, and it's been 30 years after since The Rocketeer. So if you haven't seen him in a while, you really would not probably recognize him. But Jennifer Connelly, always beautiful. She was the beautiful, gorgeous girlfriend of the film. She's basically the sex appeal. And yeah, you know what I mean. Timothy Dalton of Neville Sinclair, excellent actor. And he played a great Nazi villain in this movie. He did a fantastic job. Alan Arkin, of course, is with his one-liners, his sarcastic comedy, very funny. Paul Sorvino, of course, he played the mobster type of character. He did a great job. But overall, yeah, I like this film. I enjoyed it. I think everybody did a great job between the storyline, the dialogue. The special effects were kind of iffy, because you could tell by the special effects or the CGI, because you have to remember this was back in 1991, so it's not really up to date that what we have now. And of course now sometimes the CGI is not that great in movies, which I don't know why. But there's some scenes in the film where you could tell, oh, it's fake. But they try to make it as real as possible for what they had at the time. So you just have to imagine that, you know, that's all it is. CGI, special effects, everything that was, you know, kind of okay and iffy. But there's certain scenes in the movie, especially near the end, where they go up on the big zipline or balloon thing. And there's this one Nazi guy on there, and he's just like yelling and ordering Neville Sinclair. It's like, dude, get rid of this guy. He was so annoying in the movie. And he was only in it for a little bit of time, but that actor, he just kept yelling. It's like, dude, shut up. That's how I felt. But I think the plane scenes were good, and how everybody worked out in this film, I think it was very good. Everything else, like I said, the dialogue was okay. It was pretty good for what it was worth. But it's really, if you like fun adventure / comedy films, this is a movie to see. Do I recommend to see this? Yeah. I mean, if you like Disney, if you like fun adventure comedy films with a good storyline and everything else, it's a good one to see. And basically what I found out was they were actually supposed to make, this was supposed to be a franchise. So they were supposed to make a sequel or another 2 more movies. But unfortunately, The Rocketeer at the time, the critics gave it pretty good reviews. But unfortunately at the box office, when they made this film, it took, what, 35 million, 36 million to make. But in the box office, it only produced about 45, 46 million. So they only made a profit of like $10 million, which at the time, you know, I mean, for us, it's good. That's good money. But in the film industry, that's not a lot of money. It really isn't. They were probably expecting to make close to $100 million on this film, and they did not, which is why they scrapped everything. But I did hear that they are, there is a anime, like I said, and you'll see in the fun facts when I say it. There's an animated version on the Disney Kid series or channel, but they are remaking or rebooting a Rocketeer film as of 2019. So they are, hopefully when it comes through, they are going to make another Rocketeer movie. Probably like the same way. They might bring back the same characters, they may not. Maybe as a cameo or in a different character, but there is supposed to be different characters in the new Rocketeer film, from which I'm hearing. So stay tuned for that. But of course, if you want to see this movie, I mean, it's if you have the VHS or the DVD, or it is out on Disney Plus, give it a look. Take a chance at watching it. And it's not even a 2-hour movie. It's close to a 2-hour movie. It's about 1 hour and 48 minutes. So it's not that bad. And now it's time for fun facts, and stay tuned because there's a lot of them. This was based on the comics by Dave Stevens. This film takes place in October 1938. The character of Neville Sinclair was loosely modeled after Errol Flynn, who was suspected of being a Nazi spy. The GB Racer was nicknamed the Widowmaker and the Flying Coffin because it was incredibly difficult to fly and was prone to crashing. The actual GB used in filming was only allowed to land a very limited amount of times during its time working on the movie. Beeman's, the gum chewed by Cliff, is the lucky gum of pilots. In the comics, the inventor of the jetpack is Doc Savage. However, because of licensing considerations, Disney did not seek permission from Condé Nast, the copyright holder of Doc Savage, and opted out to substitute Doc Savage with Howard Hughes. The director Joe Johnston's work on this film is what led to his hiring as director of Captain America: The First Avenger, which came out in 2011. The Real Dog Cafe, which was the cafe shaped as a bulldog, was built in 1928 but destroyed by weather in the mid-1970s. Of the real-life film stars mentioned in the film, Myrna Loy was the only one who was still alive when this film was released. The reproduction of the GB Racer is currently on display at the Museum of Flight in Seattle, Washington. Cliff's motorcycle was a 1929 Harley-Davidson JDH Twin Cam, or Zwin Cam. Cliff and PV's truck was a 1933 Ford half-ton. Talk of a live-action remake first made the news in 2016. In November of 2019, Disney unveiled a CG animated series for kids on its kids streaming services. And yes, there was a cameo by Dave Stevens, the man in the test flight movie who has the rocket pack strapped to his back, who was the test pilot. It's basically in the film when PV and Cliff were with Howard Hughes and they were watching that short clip film. The guy that was strapping the backpack on, and he flew off and then kind of exploded. That was Dave Stevens. He made his cameo. And finally, in the opening sequence when Cliff crash lands the GB, Alan Arkin narrowly missed being severely injured when a cable pulling the mock-up of the plane along the runway snapped, striking Alan Arkin behind one of his knees. And that's it, guys. That is my movie review for the 1991 film, The Rocketeer. I hope you guys enjoyed that. As usual, smash that like button, support, share, hit that notification bell. It will notify you when the next video vlog will be up. Also, check me out on Instagram under the same name, Movie Mania Nick. And remember, stay safe, be excellent to each other, and party on, dudes!